might be sitting on items right now that could sell for $50, $80, $100, even $200 online. I used to think that there was nothing good that I could sell, but now I know better. And I've made over $100,000 selling used clothes online. I know that might sound completely insane, but the best part of this is that I get to help others do the same. One of the things that I realized was I was overlooking brands and items from the late 90s, early 2000s selling like crazy right now. So what I've done is I've pulled together 37 of the best Y2K brands to be selling online right now. First up is the streetwear brand JNCO. Now, what is selling best with this brand are things like their hoodies as well as their jeans. Now, I've got some sales pulled up here for you. One of the problems of using this method by filtering with items that have been sold is a lot of times the prices that you're seeing are not the actual price. So in order to get the actual prices, you actually need to use eBay's research tool, Terapeak, and you can do that from your phone or from the computer. If you want to see the method from your phone, I will link to that up here, and that can be super helpful when you're sourcing items. This is an example of one of their hoodies, and you see that it has that kind of streetwear vibe to it. It's got those old English letters down the sleeve, designed there on the back. And this hoodie went for the full asking price of 80 bucks. This is a pair of their men's jeans, and you're gonna notice with a lot of these jeans that they are a wider leg, baggier style. A lot of them do have decor, such as the embroidery on the back pocket there. And these sold for about $83 after a best offer. Really quickly want to point out some of the keywords because these really matter when it comes to selling these Y2K items, even when it's a mainstream brand like these. So in addition to Y2K, they've got skater, grunge, as well as embroidered skull. The next Y2K brand that is hugely popular right now is the brand Cooji. The items that are doing the best are definitely their 3D style knit sweaters, and these can sell for into the hundreds of dollars. Before we take a look at some of these, I do want to point out that if you come across sweaters that have the Cooji style, but they're from a different brand, those can also do well. This is a really great example of the colors and the type of design that people are after. They for sure have a unique, one-of-a-kind look with their items. There's the Cooji tag if you have not seen that before. And this one sold for the full asking price of $249. Another example of these types of sweaters that are selling so well. I'm going to zoom in on that so you can hopefully see the texture to these. These are highly textured, almost have a 3D sort of look. Again, there's the Cooji tag. And this one also sold full asking price $209. And then here's an example of one that has a similar sort of look with it that is not Cooji, but it's still sold for a pretty good amount. And it has that 3D textured look to it. This one has a little bit different color scheme to it from a brand called Bach Rock. I guess that is what that is. And this one sold for $130 after a best offer. Real quick, if you haven't grabbed my 150 best brands list, that's a free list, by the way. It's the list of brands that led me to the $100,000 mark and beyond. You'll find a link to grab it in the description below. Ed Hardy items are also seeing a huge resurgence in popularity, and people are buying these as throwback items, remembering the good old days. And really everything with this brand is selling pretty well, including shoes, skirts, jeans, t-shirts, bags, hats, you name it, it sells. This is an Ed Hardy hoodie, and all of their items have a certain look to them. There's the Ed Hardy tag. A lot of their items have a tattoo design to them. They often incorporate things like skulls. And this hoodie went for $100 after an offer. This is a pair of women's boots. Again, a sort of tattoo design across the front of those. I believe that it says "Born Free," markings there at the back heel. These are fur lined. There's what the bottoms look like. Not exactly in the best of condition, but these sold full asking price $140. And this is a pair of jeans from the designer of Ed Hardy, which is Christian Audigier. You're gonna see his name there across the back of those jeans. So that's another thing to be on the lookout for related to Ed Hardy. Anything from Christian Audigier is going to do really well. There's the tag on the inside of those jeans. And those sold on offer for $125. And while we're on the topic of Christian Audigier, one of his other lines, Von Dutch, is also seeing a big resurgence with the Y2K era items. This is a much smaller line, but these items can be very profitable. This is a bowling bag, and this style is very popular. These are selling really well. The more unique the design these are, the more money that they're going to go for. That's true for pretty much everything when it comes to reselling. This one happens to have dice, motorcycles, and maybe race cars, and it sold full price $110. And this is a pair of jeans from Von Dutch. These are a little bit more rare. You can see there's a small tear there at the knee. On the back of a lot of their jeans, as well as Ed Hardy, you're gonna see that there is embroidery. So on the back side of these, you can see the name Von Dutch embroidered across those. These are also a bareback style jean that has no back pockets. And these went for $115 after an offer. Next is the streetwear brand FUBU. You're gonna notice that a lot of jerseys are selling, tracksuits, and velour, but pretty decent sale prices for pre-owned condition. This is a pair of their Phat Albert jeans, and you're gonna notice with a lot of these streetwear brands, they really like that embroidery on the back pockets or down the legs. And these sold full price for about $75. And here's an example of one of their jerseys. This is a size large, but I do find that if you find these in plus size, they'll sell for even more money. And this jersey also sold full price for about $75. Mall brands from the Y2K era are also doing surprisingly well. And real quick, if you're thinking, I would love to be selling things like this, but I don't know what to look for, or I never come across items like this, I honestly used to have the exact same problem. But what I eventually realized is it's not about luck, and it's about knowing what to look for. And that's the exact thing that I teach inside of my Empowered Reseller membership program. Inside, you get a clear path for what actually works, live training, personal help when you need it, and a really supportive community of people doing this together, all designed to help you make consistent daily sales online. If that sounds like something you'd like, just click the link below this video and we'd love to have you join us. And Charlotte Russe, a super low value mall brand that can sell for crazy amounts depending on the item. This is a maxi dress with a little bit of a milkmaid top across the bust. There's the brand tag. And this went full price for $70. Note again the keyword there in the title of Whimsy Goth. And this is a handkerchief hem top. This one works really well with the fairy keyword. You'll see that there in the title, and you'll also note that they didn't bother putting Charlotte Russe in the title. This is one of those brands where I wouldn't recommend wasting valuable title space and instead using it for those aesthetic types of keywords. This one sold full price for $52. And another low value mall brand that can sell for quite a lot. Items like these sold for these low amounts because the sellers didn't know what they were sitting on. That's one reason that comps can sometimes lie. This is a bomber jacket from Wet Seal with faux fur trim. There's a look at the tag. And this sold full price $89. And a bell sleeve top with a large square neck. There's the Wet Seal tag. Beadwork around that neckline. And this went full asking price for $66. Again, a keyword in the title of fairy. And another one here that's just a little too old for me to click on, but this sheer top went for $122. No fear, another Y2K brand that is doing pretty well depending on what the item is and what the graphic is. This is one of their t-shirts with flames down both arms. Also has a couple small holes there in the chest. It's got a back graphic. There's the tag at the neck. And this one went for $50. This is one of their hoodies. There is the tag with this one. It's got some stitching here across the front of that hoodie, some stains at the back, and this one went for 72 bucks. Keywords here that I want to point out of emo, punk, grunge, and skate. And those keywords really matter when it comes to these Y2K items. If you have trouble remembering these types of aesthetic keywords every time you sit down to list, my keyword poster can really help speed things up. I'll link to that somewhere on your screen. And this next brand is Hollister. What's selling best is anything with fur trim, but even baby doll tops, mini skirts, Henley tops, and anything with a graphic design. This faux fur trim jacket from Hollister, check out the fur on that hood. There's another good picture there, but this one went for $275 after an offer. One of these baby doll sweaters that I was mentioning, it's got this mini cable knit around the top, a large scoop neck. There's the Hollister tag, and this went for about $51 on offer. And one of those graphic spell out style hoodies, you can see how the lettering is stitched on there. That is really popular. Again, the tag there for you. And this sold full, asking price about $76. Doc Martens is the next Y2K brand. Yes, this brand continues to be popular even with their current styles, but if you come across their older items from the Y2K era, a lot of those can do especially well. And don't be afraid to pick these up if they're an older pair and you're seeing quite a bit of wear. Check out the wear there in the toes of those boots. Even the laces are heavily worn. You can see the cracking there around the collar. Pretty chewed up there at the back. It's got that Made in England tag. These sold for the full asking price in that condition for about $75. Another older pair, again, pretty beat up, a lot of scratches there in the leather. Gonna zoom in on that so you can see just how many scratches there are. There's what the toes look like, large scratches there on the sides of these boots as well. The outsole and the insole. And these went full price, 70 bucks. Y2K Affliction items can be another good flip, especially when it comes to their jeans. This is a pair of their jeans. You're gonna notice with most of these that they have some pretty heavy distressing, bleaching, whiskering, and definitely extra details. You're gonna see those details in all of their items. They go the extra mile when it comes to those details. There's the tag on those, and these went for $72 after an offer. Jackets can also be really big money. So this one is a leather jacket. There's the Affliction tag. You're gonna see the embroidery and oftentimes the name in large letters across the back. Now this jacket went for $250 best offer. Most t-shirts don't sell for quite as much, but if you do come across bigger sizes, those can be more money. You're also gonna find that their t-shirts have fraying around the neckline, as well as the cuffs and the bottom hem. That is normal, that is part of this look. Definitely do not throw them back if you find these items. Now this one is a 3XL and it went for 55 bucks after an offer. Apple Bottom is another brand to be aware of, and really if you come across brands from any rapper from around the Y2K era that was popular then, and they had a clothing line, there's a really good chance that that clothing line is worth some money. Now this is a little bit smaller line than some of the other rappers brands out there, but it's still selling pretty well depending on the style. This is a pair of jeans, and what a lot of them have is the apples on the back pocket, hence where the name of this brand comes from. I think you're seeing a pattern here with a lot of these brands that the back side of items was huge, whether it was writing, the brand name, details on those pockets. And this pair of jeans went full price, 60 bucks. Another pair with pink apple bottoms distressing down the legs of those. And these went full price, 90 bucks. G-Unit is another one of those brands to be aware of from a rapper, 50 Cent. Denim and even some of their t-shirts are doing pretty well. This is a G-Unit hoodie. This one is actually pretty simple, just G-Unit there, a little bit smaller across the chest. There's what the tag looks like. And this went for 60 bucks on offer. This one is a t-shirt, fairly plain, yet again, a little bit different design of the tag there, small G-Unit at the back of the neck. And this one went for 50 bucks. Now this striped tee sold for quite a bit more. Similar tag there as that last one we just saw, but this one is a little bit more unique design with those stripes. This one sold for the full asking price of $110. This next brand is Baby Phat, and with this brand, you'll definitely want to aim for jackets as well as denim. This is a hooded, almost bomber style jacket. You can see it's a flocked velvet, and this went full price $108. Another one of their jackets with faux fur trim. The backside of this one is plain, a little bit chewed up here at the sleeve cuff. Even so, it went for $108 full asking price. And a pair of their jeans, these happen to have lace-up sides, which are huge from around that era. There's the tag at the back of the waist. And these went full price $65. Aeropostale is another mall brand that is doing surprisingly well for certain items. Some of the better items are pants like this with cargo pockets or parachute style pants, anything with faux fur trim, Henleys, or stitched on logos. This is a faux fur lined hoodie. There's the tag there. This one also has quite a bit of wear to it, as well as lint and pilling. Even in that condition, it went for 100 bucks on best offer. And this is a waffle knit top with a deep V-neck. There's the tag at the back of the neck, hood on the back. And this went full price $54. And this is a men's item. This is a rugby style shirt with those large horizontal stripes. The tag there at the neck. This one does have quite a bit of stitching on the front of it. And those types of details are what buyers really pay up for with these mall brands. This one went for $90 on offer. The brand Kikwear also does really well, especially when you go for their widest leg pants. Some of these are super wide. This is a pair that went for $178. Large hole there at the rear of those jeans. Lots of fraying at the back. There's the tag. There's that another look at that hole. You can see there's an attempt at a patch there, so that is patched up. Again, a lot of fraying at the bottom, a lot of tearing, some other smaller holes in these jeans. And they sold those holes with the repair work for $178. Another super wide pair of their jeans, a little bit different style tag there with this one. With all of these jeans with these wider legs, you're definitely going to want to include the cuff opening. These happen to be 36 inches, so these are huge. Overall, in very good condition, and these went for $333. The lower value brand called Mud is also doing well, especially when it comes to things like their shoes. Platform style. This is a pair of closed-toed sandals. These do have quite a bit of cracking. You can see there on the inside. There's what the back looks like, definitely a little bit more on the beat up side. And these went for the full asking price of 60 bucks. A pair of platform dress shoes, also from Mud, ankle strap, small embroidery detail around the top of the foot. And these went on best offer for $95. A pair of platform campus boots from Mud. There's the tag on the inside. The bottoms of these shoes, they're overall in pretty good condition, some minimal scuffing, some minimal wear. And these went for $96. Next brand is JNCO, and these items can sell for a ton, into the hundreds of dollars depending on the design. The highest selling items are, of course, their denim. These are a pair of jean shorts, have a snake there at the back of the pocket. You're gonna notice that with a lot of their items, the back pockets are huge. This went for $204 after a best offer. This is a JNCO hoodie. It's got that crown design there on the front, their classic logo. There's what the tag looks like with this one. And this went for full asking price $224. And this pair of jeans with a fish embroidered there at the bottom, it's even fraying around that embroidery. Patch there at the back of the jeans, some holes starting to form around those back pockets. There's the tag at the inside waist. And these went for $350 on an offer. And another mall brand that is hugely popular when it comes to their Y2K era items is Abercrombie. Some of their best selling items are Henleys, parachute style pants, anything with large logos. This is a fairly plain men's hoodie with the brand name across the front. There's the tag there for you. And this one sold full price for about 82 bucks, even with fading. In a pair of those parachute style pants or paratrooper pants, you're gonna see the cargo pockets there at the sides, cinching around the cuffs. There's the tag at the back. And these went full price, 69 bucks. And a women's cable knit sweater with a deep V-neck. There's the tag. And this went full price, 100 bucks. Next up is Juicy Couture. Some of these items are selling for crazy amounts, especially pants if they've got any sort of bling or writing across the back. The other things that are doing really well with this brand are their tracksuits as well as handbags. This is one of those tracksuit sets. This one happens to have a crown there at the back of the hoodie, a small crown at the front hip, nothing on the back. This one sold on best offer for 145 bucks. This is one of their handbags, but there's a lot of different styles of their bags that are selling. This one's a little bit more on the plain side, but it is a little bit more unusual of a design. There's the tag there. And this one went full price, 180 bucks. This is a pair of their pants with that writing that I was mentioning there on the back. This one is bejeweled, bling, rhinestones, whatever you want to call it, and this went for $55 on offer. Next is Victoria's Secret, and some of these Y2K era items are pretty surprising for how much they're selling for. This is a pair of fold over yoga pants. This one happens to have animal print. Also, the name is there across the back where that folds over. There's what that tag looks like. And these went for $175 best offer. A pair of fold over shorts. This one happens to have zebra stripe with love pink across the back. And these went for 60 bucks best offer. And the Y2K era nightgown. Here's the tag with this one. And it went full price, almost $98. Next is the brand Lip Service, and this is a gothic sort of punk brand. So the items are definitely very unique, and a lot of these are selling for into the hundreds of dollars. This one is a very tiny mini skirt. I'm gonna zoom in on that tag. There's not a whole lot of picture needed with this one because it is so small. But this one went full price, 175 bucks. And this is a pair of their jeans, definitely unique details with this one with that crossing belt, zippers at the back of the legs. There's the tag. And this one went for $190 best offer. And this is one of their dresses. This one is absolutely beautiful. You're gonna notice with these that they do have a lot of detail. There's a couple looks at the tag, some mesh tulle there around that neckline. And this one was listed at $350 and sold for $200 on a best offer. This next brand is BB, and you'll definitely want to go for the older items. This is a newer item, 10 bucks, but the older items are selling for quite a lot. Even that skirt suit there, not quite what I would expect. There's another older item there, as well as that trench coat. This is a hoodie with a rhinestone logo on the front. There's a little bit closer look at the studs there for their logo. Sleeves. And this one sold after a best offer for $100. And a faux fur trim suede jacket, also from BB. There's the tag. Some metal stud detailings there around the wrist. After a best offer, this one sold for $127.50. And Rampage. This was a low value mall brand. You want to choose wisely with what you sell from this brand because some of it's not selling for very much, but when you choose the right pieces, it can be a good return. This is a tank dress from Rampage. Not the best of pictures with this one, but there's the tag. Kind of ugly in my opinion, but this one sold on best offer for $130. And their boots from the Y2K era are almost always a surefire win. And you can see these boots have quite a bit of wear to them, but they sold full price, almost 80 bucks. And another one of those tank dresses, there's the tag. This one went on auction with one bid on it for $93. And cachet or cash, can somebody help me out on that? I remember all of the mall stores from this era, but I don't think we had this one, so I've never been quite sure how to say this. But a lot of the items from the Y2K era are doing really well. There's a dress right there. But again, be careful with what it is that you source because it's not just the brand, but it's also about the style. Their prom dresses are some of the best sellers. There's the tag. This one's got beading all over it. It was listed for $350 and it went for $200 on offer. Even tanks and shirts can do well depending on the style. There's the tag there for you, but this is a corset style top. Note the keyword in the title of fairy. This sold full asking price $60. And a tapestry style vest, tapestry the front and denim on the back. There's the tag. And this sold full asking price $125. And BCBG, this is another one that I would advise you to be careful with and go for the older items. The older items are usually worth substantially more than their newer merchandise. This is a chevron print dress, and a lot of their dresses are selling well from the Y2K era. There's the tag, and this sold full asking price $78. A formal dress here from BCBG. It's got a little bit of beadwork throughout this dress. Mesh overlay, which is huge for this era, by the way. There's the tag. And this sold on best offer for $130. And the mall brand Express, items from the Y2K era, the items that are doing the best are the ones that have that really heavy look of just being super identifiable from the Y2K era. This is a roughly halter tank top. There's the Express tag. And this sold $10 under the asking price. It went for $58. Note in the title the keyword whimsy goth. That aesthetic is really tied to this era and it's trending hard. And suede lace-up pants. I absolutely love these. There's the tag. There's what the back of those look like. That lace-up detail at the front. And these sold on best offer for $80. And a mesh tank top that just screams Y2K. This one sold full price for $68. And Y2K era Miss 60. Almost everything from this brand from that era is selling well. This is a simple long sleeve black shirt with a star at the front. There's the Miss 60 tag. And this went full price $60. And some wild plaid pants with flare leg. These are so much fun. And they sold on best offer for $90. And a denim coat with faux fur trim. Absolutely love this one. There's the tag on the inside, small leather patch on one of those pockets. And this went with the best offer for $150. And Y2K era Miss Me, those studded pockets, flap pockets, they're back in, even low rise. This is a pair of jeans with a crochet back flap pocket. There's their label at the inside waist. And these sold full price $89. A hoodie from Miss Me. This one's got embroidery on the hood as well as that front pocket, even the back. There's the tag. And this one went full price $55. And some super fun wide leg corduroy pants, some embroidery. There's the tag there for you, but these are so much fun, so wide, have those ties there around the ankle, even have quite a bit of fading on them. Even so, they went full price for $50. Rockaware, another really solid winner in the streetwear department. Many of their baggier jeans as well as their jackets are selling for the most money. This is a women's jacket, a satin style bomber with faux fur trim. There's a look at the tag. And this one went after a best offer for $140. And a men's velour track set. There's the back of the jacket. There's a better look at the pants. Not the best of pictures with this one. Looks like the zipper is even broken. It says it needs a new zipper, but this sold on best offer for $120. And a pair of jeans. You can see how they're just kind of loose and baggy, have lots of fading going on there. Some interesting details there with the back pocket, actually a double back pocket. Some whiskering or creasing at the back of the knee. These went full price for $75. And a brand that's really killing it when it comes to their dresses, Blondie Nights. This is a halter style maxi dress. Definitely fits pretty well with the whimsy goth look. There's a look at the tag. They used the keywords of fairy and goth with this one, and it sold for $145 on an offer. And this is a two-piece skirt and halter top set. The top has a lace-up back there. Again, a look at the tag. And this one sold for $150 after an offer. And this dress is absolutely beautiful with lots of floral beadwork to this one. Mesh overlay. This is huge when it comes to the whimsy goth look. They did use whimsy goth in their title as well as fairy, and this dress went for $180 after an offer. Southpole. If you come across any of these streetwear brands, they're pretty much all doing pretty well. This is a pair of their baggy jeans with heavy fading, the label there at the inside, and a look at the back of those jeans. These went full price for $70. And a logo hoodie here. A look at that tag was a better look at that stitching on the logo. This one went full price for $69. Note the keywords in the title of skate, punk, grunge, and streetwear. And a full zip hoodie here. I'm going to zoom in so you can see the print there. There's what the tag looks like. And this one sold for $112. This next Y2K brand is another streetwear, Phat. And most of these items are doing well, especially their jackets, hoodies, and track sets. This is a velour track set, the jacket as well as the pants. There's a look at the tag. And these went full price for $90. Another track set here that's also velour. There's a look at the back of the jacket. Nothing too wild going on with this one. And this one also sold full price for $100. And a leather style varsity jacket from Phat. Few flaws there on that light cream sleeve. This went $125 on a best offer. And Moda International. This is actually a line from Victoria's Secret that was really popular around the Y2K era. This is a strapless dress from Moda International. There's a look at the tag. Pretty basic dress, but it went for $125. This is a lace-up corset style top with floral print. There's a look at that lace-up front and a quick peek at the tag. And this went full price, $84. And this is a faux fur coat. There's the Moda International tag. And this also went full price, $200. And LEI, this is another lower value mall brand. And the items that are selling for the most money are for sure their shoes. This is a pair of platform patchwork boots. These even have some peeling on them, and you're gonna see that with a lot of items from this era that are not leather, yet they're still selling for insane amounts. There's a look at the tag, and these sold in that kind of condition on a best offer for $72. And a pair of platform Mary Janes. I maybe had these. There's a look at the tag on the inside, and these sold full price for $80. Another one of their pairs of boots, but quite a bit of cracking with this one. Again, these are not real leather, and this goes for this brand as well as other brands. If you're seeing this type of look, even if it's not real leather, even if it's a lower value brand like this, they can be valuable. This one happened to go full price for $100. And Y2K era diesel items. Whether it's shoes or bags or denim or jackets, these all can make a pretty good flip. These are a pair of their men's jeans with a little bit of a boot cut to them going on. Interesting detail at the back pocket there. Gonna zoom in on that for you. Contrasting denim. A look here at the tags on the inside. And these went for $90 best offer. A women's military style jacket. Lots of great details on this one, by the way. Even patches there on the sleeve. Those buttonholes and that trim above that pocket. There's a look at the back. Even that has some interesting details going on here. There's a look at the tag. And this sold full price, $175. And their bags can be some big money. There's all different styles of bags that are selling at close to the $100 price point, and in some cases, well over that. This particular one went for $280 on an offer. And Amy Buyer or Is Buyer, this brand has gone by a lot of different names, maybe a lot of different lines out there. This is another low value brand that can sell for surprising amounts in a lot of cases, and I would ignore the prices that a lot of these are selling for because a lot of sellers just don't know the value and they're selling themselves short. This is a set with a vest as well as shorts in daisy print. This daisy print was huge. There's a look at the A Buyer tag. And this went full price for 60 bucks. Another two-piece set here with a top and then an asymmetrical hem skirt. Also bell sleeves on that top. This one also sold full price and it went for 85 bucks. And a denim romper. This one is so cute. And there's a look at the tag. This is Buyer, California. And this one went on a best offer for $110. Now, knowing brands is one thing, but knowing what to actually pick up is what makes you money. As a reminder, if you'd like help with that, just click the first link below this video to check out the Empowered Reseller. Now, if you're wondering about more vintage clothing items that are worth selling online, then you're gonna wanna stick around for this next video. Just click or tap the screen where I break down 50 of the best vintage clothes to be selling right now. Click or tap here, and I'll see you there.